Roll, flip it, got it. Oh, the ball was dropped. He had the 2-point conversion in his hands. Andrews did not hold on.
Just had a drop as well earlier, and for the game to go possibly to overtime, and the conditions, the ball's just a little bit short. You got to catch that all day, but your foot slips, and Milano wasn't in on that play actually, and guess what? He out-leveraged him. Buffalo wasn't prepared for that. What a play call.
It's shocking.
What's up, and welcome back to Cover 2 with BeeWoo EarlKnowsItAll. And BeeWoo, man, I started to call you today and say, man, let's just postpone the show.
Oh,
man.
Why you gonna do that?
Hey, man, as you can see, man, y'all been questioning my allegiances. I'm still rocking with my boy, man. But it's a rough day. It's been a rough 24 hours.
Is it Uchi Wally Wally?
Yeah, man. But what's good, man? How you been, man?
Hey, man, it's a beautiful day in the city.
Yes, sir.
A little toasty though.
Yeah.
We're not toasty.
A little cold out
But
there.
a little cold. Excuse me. The frigid temperatures got my brain.
I was about to say your brain's still frozen.
My brain's still frozen, man. But it's a little nippy out here.
Yeah, man. It's like with wind chill of 8. We in Atlanta, man. So it's like we ain't supposed to get this kind of weather.
We're not supposed to get this kind of weather.
Yeah.
It's MLK Day.
Most importantly.
MLK Day, most importantly.
Happy MLK Day.
Happy MLK Day to everybody out there. I hope you enjoyed your day off.
Yes, sir.
And not a day off.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hopefully you did something.
Being a service to somebody, man.
Or somebody or something.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But nonetheless, I see you got your other team hat on.
I'm still with the flock. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all call me Walker Flocker at this point, man. Yeah, I'm with the flock, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I tried to catch the bus.
Yeah.
And
listen, man, we're gonna get into it, man. Because I got a good idea why they lost that game. Man. We're gonna get into it.
Oh, man.
So keep that falcon.
I tried to catch the bus. And I jumped on the wrong
button.
Past
you, man.
Yeah, I jumped on the wrong button.
It happens, man. Unfortunately, it happens sometimes, man. But before we get into the show, man, we got a breaking news, I guess, right before we sit down and convene, man. Ben Johnson, of course, has been named the head coach of the Chicago Bears. So that's Detroit Lions offensive coordinator. Highly sought after the last 2 years, man. Some of these trick plays he was calling, I don't know if the Bears want to rethink that because he was getting a little wild towards the end of that game. But what you think about that hire, man? You think it's a good hire? Or, I know people real big on this guy. So,
man, any hire for the Bears is any hire for the Bears is a good hire for them.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's think you did a solo project once before about the state of the Bears.
Bears a curse, you can tell.
So man,
we'll see. I think it'll be seen. I think you had to go with an offensive minded coach, which you having Caleb Williams there, number 1 overall pick. You got to try to get him. A coach that can kind of fit around what he's doing. And you look at it, I mean, young quarterbacks are having a lot of success in the league, man. We're gonna talk about that too. So
man.
You got to try to speed the process up as quick as you can, man.
Man. These young guys are no wasting no time.
They're not, man.
That
should make you happy, right?
Yeah. It's some hope.
Yeah, man.
It's some hope.
Hope springs eternal.
In the words of another guy, it's hope. Keep hope alive.
Oh, I thought you was going with it. I didn't know you were going Jesse. I was talking about hope and change with Oprah Rock, man.
Well,
however you want to slice it. Keep hope alive.
Yeah, keep hope alive.
Well, some of these teams, man, as we get into it, they got no hope no more, man. I talked about my Ravens, but we're gonna start with the Texans, of course, going into Kansas City, and man, it look like the Chiefs, from what I can see online, from what it was in our group chat. Chiefs got a little bit of help on Saturday, man.
Man, it's the artistry of
the position. That's what telling me that's what's going on here.
I mean, it has to be, man.
Hey, man.
I think this guy has put in his dues to be the next guy up.
He's the guy.
And he knows how to. You look at his scramble play.
Yeah.
And he was getting ready to go out of bounds.
Slow down for a second.
I mean,
let me try to get this penalty.
You gotta when you got guys like that, and MJ was good for that.
Yeah, superstar calls.
Yeah, man. Yeah. When you know how to work your craft, then things look. You're like, hey, man, these guys favoring you.
Yeah, and it's crazy how to take. I remember about 6 years ago. When I was and I still am a Tom Brady hater and a New England Patriots hater, the Chiefs kind of got screwed on the play at the end of the game. It was an outside call, and the Patriots, we were saying the Patriots get every call. They cheat. They do this. They be cheating for the Patriots. And now the Chiefs find themselves as that team.
As that team.
And everybody's saying they get every call. I seen a tweet that said, they just called pass interference on Buffalo for the game he started.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
so, it is what it is.
I mean, this is going to be an interesting game.
It is, man. It is.
Because, you got Josh Allen, he coming over one hurdle.
Yeah.
Going to his next hurdle.
Listen, man, kryptonite in the playoffs for him.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Is it going to be a new era of changing of the guard?
Ooh, you going there already? Huh?
I mean, who knows?
It remains to be seen.
I mean, because when you look at what Kansas City has done, and the Texans kind of shot themselves in the foot.
They did, man. I agree with you. I was gonna say that. I'm glad you said that. Like, you're gonna get calls in the game. It's missed calls on both sides all the time, but you gotta beat Kansas City. You can't do stuff that's gonna that's gonna cause you the game.
Missing field goals.
Kickers. I forgot that man's name. He had some weird name too, man. Kawami or something. That was his first name.
Yeah.
And he blew an extra point, missed the field. Like, you can't do these things, man.
You can't do those things.
Yeah.
And
expect to go into Kansas City and win.
And go into Kansas.
They're not gonna do anything to beat themselves. Yeah. They may get a call or two that's gonna help them.
Yeah.
Just because they got the track record, man.
They got the track record. And you got to play a clean game. You do when you're playing, a back-to-back champion.
Yep.
A guy of Pat Holmes caliber. You can't do anything that's gonna cause.
Can't breathe on them.
The refs to second guess.
Yeah.
Are you even qualified to be?
Yeah, that's tough, man.
It's tough. If you ever played any little league sports or any of that kind of stuff, when you knew there was a team that you had to hurdle, and always seen them all the time, and they was that team, you always kind of felt like, man, these guys getting all the calls.
Yeah.
Man,
we used to coach Little League Baseball. I remember we went down south in the playoff game, and the boys was getting every single call.
And you come across,
try to tell you guys to deal with it.
Yeah, but, you come across teams that just suited like that.
Yeah.
The Kansas City Chiefs are one of those teams that is suited like that, and you best to be sharp.
They are the NFL's darling team, man. They are the headline. You got Patrick Mahomes, you got Travis Kelce, Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers. I heard Andy Reid. Of course, they want to make sure they can show Taylor Swift any chance they get. So you got a lot to go up against them boys, man.
You can't be missing kicks, man.
Nope.
And these kickers throughout the NFL, I don't know, all season long. Yeah. It seems like every game that you look at, it's been a missed kick.
And so here's the thing, man. I was talking to our homeboy, man. You remember a couple years ago they moved the extra point back to make it harder.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a thing where, just like in the NBA, they moved the 3-point line back at one point, and they had it move it back up? Is it time for them to start looking at maybe we need to put the line back up close for these boys?
You know, I kind of like where
it ain't automatic no more at all.
It ain't automatic. It's not automatic. So, and I kind of like that for the game.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree with you
because it keeps things interesting.
It does, man.
You know, and you've seen some of the higher up kickers. You know, qualified kickers, good kickers, do bonehead stuff, man. And, you know,
even I mean, we're gonna get into the Philly game. They won, but they kicker came out there missing kicks. So
indeed,
it can happen, man. Now, of course, we kind of alluded to what's at stake next week, AFC Championship game. Kansas City, although they won that game, the Texans was right in that game. This was a Texans team that C.J. Stroud them kind of had an up and down season. I think Mahomes threw for around 100-some yards. Like he wasn't too impressive. Right around 200, if that much. Kelsey was the only guy he hit. I don't think any receiver caught a pass besides Worthy. Can they win a game against Buffalo playing like that, man?
Man, you know, these Chiefs, man, they're so great.
They find a way to win, man.
They're so great, and they just keep finding ways to pedigree.
They did. We saw this, and I know, and I showed you, I got them comments that said, you keep picking against the Chiefs. You say that every year. You ain't going to pick against them this year. And I picked against them again, man. So at some point, we got to realize maybe these dudes is that team, man.
And
no matter what.
And the play looks very pedestrian.
It does.
It's nothing spectacular.
You got old Travis Kelce wide open out there. I don't know why he wide open.
Yeah,
running for 40 yards after the catch.
It's very mundane kind of ran offense. You kind of know what these guys are going to do.
Yeah,
and keep doing it, and it keeps working.
It don't matter who cast the character. It can be Pacheco. It can be Hunt back there. It can be whoever at running back. It can be Tyreek Hill. It can be Worthy. It can be.
It's kind of like
Juju Schuster. It don't matter.
It's kind of like the Patriots.
Yeah,
right now.
As long as you got Andy Reid and you got Patrick Mahomes,
it's giving Patriots
and Travis Kelce. It's like Belichick, Brady, and Gronk. Like,
if
you got them three, you got a chance, man.
It's giving New England Patriots vibes. Like New England kind of just when they first run off those,
they picked up right where the boys left off.
But they kind of just skating along. They're not doing too much.
Every year, and you got to beat them.
Like you got to beat them.
The ones they lost, you had to beat them. So
we'll see. As great as Peyton Manning was with the coach, he
got over the hump one time in Indianapolis, and that's when he was able to get the Super Bowl. Yeah. I mean, we'll see, man. I think we're gonna reserve. We're gonna make predictions later on, so we'll see what happens with that. But Kansas City 7th straight AFC Championship game, man. That's crazy. Like I said, we're in Atlanta. We used to see the Braves get to the playoffs and get to the championship series 10, 12, however many years in a row. They never won like this team. That's a feat to be, praised just based on getting that, man. It's a difficult thing to do. And I'm sure the next team we talk about will probably understand that, man. The Detroit Lions got shocked by the Commanders, man.
Definitely shocked me.
Well, let's cue that video right now, man. What you saying? Detroit, nothing to see here. I remember you saying that.
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of people. I guess.
The folks are coming at me in the comments.
I guess Earl knew.
Are you crazy?
He knew something that we didn't know.
I knew Jared Goff was not ready.
And you called it because Jared Goff was looking very Matt Ryan-ish. He's looking very Matt Ryan-ish out there. But man, you definitely called it, and he did not the play. I think he had 4 interceptions.
He had 3, and then Jameis Williams
and every time we watching this game, I'm like, man, the Lions, they ain't over. They coming back. And you say
we gotta let you behind the curtain. I said, hey, he got 2 more interceptions in him.
Yeah.
He go 1, boom, he threw one.
And he
got another one left.
Every time they came back, you say, hey, he got another one in him. He definitely had another one in him. And
tough.
I hate it for the Lions fans.
I do.
You know,
Lions fan, we done been there, man.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We know how, like, you pumped up. You had all this momentum going into the season. You had a great season. Only lost 2 games all year. To get there and do that, and against a team that got a rookie quarterback at that, man. Like
that dude Daniels,
he ready for the big time. Man.
He is definitely ready
for the big time.
And
man.
you know, you cannot underestimate. Like, man, when you talk about new quarterbacks, this is a rookie.
Yeah,
and he is playing like he's been in the league 5-6 years.
Yeah, and like we praised CJ Stroud a lot last year because CJ Stroud, you know, same thing. Won rookie of the year, got to the playoffs, won a game. But to go into Detroit, where that's a loud stadium, that team has been great all year, and he going against a quarterback that's been to the Super Bowl and all that too. He the guy who been to the Super Bowl. He was just back there doing his thing. The pass rush will be around, and he just, I'm gonna drop it right in the pocket for him. Boom, touchdown. Boom. Like, man,
it is a new era.
Yeah,
it is a new era of football. There's no such thing. Hey, you need to sit back and watch. These guys coming in hot
right away.
These guys coming in hot. Shout out to the Commanders. Dan Quinn. Man, and I don't know. I want to get ahead of myself when saying this, but man, it looks like a Commanders could be very commanding.
I got a Ravens hat, and not the other hat for a reason. I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, man,
I'm a little nervous.
Dan is he's probably hungrier than ever than he's ever been. And he got a quarterback.
Got him one.
He got him a quarterback that's a dog. And I mean, this is every coach's dream. To have a quarterback to be able to do. Because once you had a quarterback, man, it seems like everything else falls in place.
We talked about Tom Brady, and we ain't gonna put that kind of pressure on him. But I think he built for it. But Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, you got guys, you got a coach that's pretty good. You can make something else shake, man. Everything else around Mahomes, we talk about how all the other parts done changed. He's a one constant. So now you got a guy in Jaden Daniels who's 24 years old. Like, you got him for another good years at least, maybe 15 years. Like, he can run it, he can throw it, he does everything. Like, he ain't afraid he all over. He's accurate. Like, he ain't scared of the moment.
No.
Like, they gonna have to go on to Philly 4 or 5 weeks ago to keep them going for a playoff run when they needed it. So I don't think he's gonna be nervous going into that game either, man. Like, I think it's a new day, like you said, man. And if you're a Falcon fan, since you know this is the Falcon adjacent podcast, you gotta feel kind of good too, saying, hey, I saw a lot of people saying this. We duel these guys. In DC.
And while I was watching this game, and you know, our quarterback at the time,
our rookie quarterback,
I think he only had 1 game under his belt, and it's
Sunday
just,
night game, big prime. This is a playoff game. You needed that game too.
It just gives you the vibes in the sense of, man, this might be something to watch, things to come, and I'm sure next year the NFL is going to have this game. Again.
I told you I'm contemplating coming back, although I'm with the flock. I ain't coming back. But the one thing that made me, I was excited about a Falcons game for the first time in maybe 15 years, man, because Michael Penix, I want to see what this guy got. That's what a young quarterback can do for you. As a young franchise quarterback, it just infuses, it made the city feel good about itself, man. We saw this in the Michael Vick era here, of course. Like, you feel like, oh, man, I'm looking forward to Sunday. I want to see what's going to happen. That's how I'm sure DC fans got to feel, man. Like,
but we don't keep that in the back pocket because we don't want to jinx our guys. We don't want to jinx our guys. Atlanta has been a city that's always, getting let down, and we don't.
Well, today is a happy day, man. You can let the thoughts run wild. You don't got a game until September, so hey, man, just let your imagination run wild.
Let's keep moving right along. Let's keep moving. Now,
the Lions, of course, got killed by three interceptions by Jared Goff, 1 for James Wilson. Excuse me. On a reverse play, down by 10 in the 4th quarter, they call a reverse, and this man is back there like he the second coming of Randall Cunningham. Throws off his back foot and throws an interception for their 4th turnover. Actually, that was their 4th at the time. And then also they lost the fumble in that game early on. That was the first turnover they had. You can't turn the ball over five times.
You can't turn the ball over like that.
Can't do it.
Expect to win in any
you're putting yourself in a bad position,
level,
man. Yeah.
And Jared Goff looked horrible.
Question. Ask this, and this is the reason I kept saying I don't know about Detroit all year. Can the Lions win with Jared Goff, man? Like, we've seen them get to the NFC Championship last year. We saw them get to the second round this year, number 1 seed. Jared Goff was a big, if not the reason their defense didn't play too well in that game. But he was a major reason why they lost that game.
Yeah.
It's a reason why he traded from the Rams. The Rams traded him for Matthew Stafford and won the Super Bowl.
Like, won the Super Bowl.
Can you win with Jared Goff as a quarterback?
You know, you said something that was funny at the time with Bridgewater coming in, but it probably made a lot of.
They could have just ran. I keep Teddy in and run the ball.
It probably would have worked out in their favor, you know, because Bridgewater, although he's been gone from the game a while, you know, Bridgewater is a quarterback who can probably get things done.
He came in the game and they went right down touchdown.
Right down.
I'm like, the only thing that made me nervous was, okay, Bridgewater in this game, they may win it now because he ain't gonna make too many mistakes.
No. They're
gonna probably try to run the ball a little bit more. And Jahmyr Gibbs was killing them, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't run the ball more.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at, you know, sometimes you stick with your quarterback too long.
This is what all these genius offensive coordinators, man. I saw this with my own 2 eyes in Atlanta, and I'm glad being in Atlanta still. Now, having seen what I saw Saturday night, that the Falcons didn't hire Ben Johnson last year when they was talking about hiring him because he may think he's too smart for his own good. Sometimes the simple play is offensive coordinator, get a ball to the best player. If Jahmyr is the best player, hand him the ball and let him go win the game. Don't try to make the quarterback the hero because it'll make you lose the game.
Yeah,
we done seen that, man.
And my son Khalil, you know, he said something. You know, he's like, hey, sometimes, you know, you guys as offensive coordinators try to make quarterback look too good, and you know, and
it's not time to be a hero.
It's not time to be a hero, and you know, sometimes you got to do what's working for your team. You know, that was a great point.
They want to prove, and that's the problem. You want to, okay, because everybody says you can't win with Jared Goff, right? So you're a genius. You want to prove I can win with this guy in my system. I can make him throw the ball 30 times a game, and we're gonna win it. Man, there's 52 people on this team. I broke his own first play of the game. Like, these folks literally are putting their bodies on the line. It's not the time to try to play no hero and let one guy try to shine.
Yeah.
You know, y'all say that's what Shanahan did with Matt Ryan. Which I ain't gonna argue because he could have just ran the ball with Devontae Freeman and won the game. So
yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta do the smart thing.
Sometimes you gotta do the smart thing, and you know, that was, you know, case in point of what might have happened with.
I think that's what happened.
Thought the Lions would get. When we talked about this game last week, you know, when we talked about this game last week, we thought it was going to be a lot of trickery.
Yeah.
And what I did, I thought it was going to be a lot of trickery, and it was going to be a close game. Is going to be boneheaded. Who's going to be the most boneheaded coach?
Yeah.
Because both of them like to take a lot of chances. Yeah. I never would have thought it wasn't really
that close. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I thought, the Commanders had won 5 or 6 games in a row on the last play of the game. So I said, okay, if it's close, if it was a blowout, I thought Detroit was gonna win. But it was a blowout and they got blowed out at home, which is crazy.
Great,
so, you know. Hey man, sometimes the way the ball bounce, man. And speaking of teams that know what they are and know, hey, who our best player is, the Philadelphia Eagles, man. My Eagles, man. Get a ball to Saquon and let him win the game.
Case in point.
Get a body, like, what's my guy? Jalen Hurts threw for 120 yards. People crapping on them. They can't throw the ball. We talked about could he throw the ball and all that. Do they throw the ball? They offensive coordinator who I heard may be up for the Dallas job, Kellen Moore, who came from Dallas. He just ran the ball, man. Called the run plays, man. And in that snow, that's what you had to do.
And when you talk about your other team, the Ravens, they got Henry for that, and
you use him to that third quarter.
Yeah, And I mean, it's a case of point again, out thinking the game, what you brought these guys in for, you know.
You got to use them, man.
Shout out to Saquon. I mean, he did his thing. Jalen, you know, relaxed and just, you know, you can ask any guys on the NFL team, any team that doesn't have anybody want to win other than special accolades for themselves. I would say anybody would want to take the win, you know.
Man, look at all those, like we said, in the first 3 or 4 years, Tom Brady won the Super Bowl. Man, they had Troy Brown out there making play. Like, I don't even think Brady won the MVP in the Super Bowl. Like, it was Deion Branch won the MVP. Like, but we call him the greatest player of all time. Like, just go win.
Just go win.
That's what I love about Belichick. He ain't caring about, oh, we got to make Tom. Like, we're going to run the ball, we're going to run. Whatever our strength is, we're going to do that. So, that's what you got to do, man.
And guess what? Now, like you said, we call Tom Brady the greatest right now. But like you said, his early years, he was not.
It wasn't about him.
It wasn't about him. Yeah. But you got your longevity in because you know you're on the helm, and you get things done. You know, a lot of people try to say about MJ, and you know he wasn't checking a bit, but hey, you got play.
You got to do what you
like. You got to
check your ego at the door.
You got to check your ego at the door, and you got to do what it takes. Now, I'm not saying Lamar wanted it. You know, there was none of that going on. No. I think it was all on the coaching staff and how they you know want to portray the game. And that's what happened with that.
We got to give a shout out to Saquon, of course. Like I said, 205 yards, and also shout out to the Rams, man.
Man.
LA team in the snow. I thought after Saquon went for that 70-yard run, I'm like, oh, it's a wrap. It's over with.
Man,
came right back down the score. And like, oh, it's still a game, man. Got the ball again with a chance to win the game. Like,
man, shout out, you know, to the Rams, Stafford, the coach,
Sean McVay.
McVay, man, he's
one of the geniuses that actually might be a genius.
He might be a genius. I mean, because for what, you know, all them, you know, I think it was like 30 guys on his team said, you know, him included, they lost their homes and you go out there to play with that kind of admiration.
Yeah, man.
And to almost
pull it off, man.
Pull it off and be playing, you know, for the
would have been playing at home.
I mean, because you know, I'm talking to David, he was Texans, and we was like, man, the NFL love these storylines, script writers, like, man, if these people win this game,
it was gonna be some problems.
It was gonna. And I mean, he was already saying, man, if they win the game, I ain't watching football.
Listen, I said the same after they go the Rams, the team of destiny. Like, ready for the city, man.
And it very much well came close. You know, and to shout out to Jalen Carter.
Shout out to Jalen Carter, man.
Shout out to Carter.
Hell of a dog, man.
Hey, shout out to Carter. Who saved the day.
Man.
You know.
Because, I mean, like I said, they in scoring position in the red zone. Matthew Stafford been cutting them up the whole game. On that drive. Jalen Carter said, enough of this, man.
Enough of this. And he called the dogs on him.
Yes, sir.
A dog on a dog.
I seen a clip which they was laughing. Matthew Stafford, I guess, he get tired of people walking on him saying, "Go dogs!" Like,
yeah.
I said them young boys they don't like that, man. They had, you ain't with us no more. You too big for the dog.
Yeah. But man, shout out to Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter's a bad boy.
That's what you go draft a guy like him for, to come up.
Listen,
moments like this.
Listen,
forget what you heard about him. All this stuff about Jalen Carter, stay out of trouble. I never heard him really being in no trouble until until we was on the clock to try to get him, and we got to stop getting talked out of these picks, man. Like,
I mean,
maybe
this year they'll take a guy from Georgia. Like you said, they right up the road, man. Like, and you just had a whole championship run for 2 years worth of guys, but my Eagles, that G Eagles stand for Georgia, man. They got a whole bunch of them on the squad.
Indeed, it does, because they got a whole defense, man. Georgia boys.
Nolan Smith Jr.
And I mean that's just a genius work to get them guys. I mean, like, man, look at this defense.
Yeah,
and we're gonna go with it. We're gonna keep all these guys.
One of the most storied defenses of college football, and sometimes guys don't pan out, but these boys are shutting people down. Yeah. You had Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. Let's go, dudes, man, put them right in the middle. And that seemed like that worked, man. Maybe we should try that.
Yeah, and it's all about, and it shows, man, it's all about coaching guys up. Yep. Because I mean, that's a genius move by the GM, coaching staff. Hey, man, let's go get these guys, and you know,
they're winners.
They winners. They got back-to-back championships. The defense is reckoning in college. You know, I mean,
hey, man. If you're there, you got to go get them.
But Philly Dogs, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm still with y'all, Philly. I'm still in mourning today, man. So, speaking of mourning, man, Josh Allen, man, and the Buffalo Bills are moving on to the AFC Championship. As much as I hate this.
You was pretty mad, man.
Yeah, man. I told y'all last year I was upset when they lost to Kansas City too, man. So, you know, I think I might really be a Raven fan for real, man. You know, it hurts when they lose, man. I'm not used to this feeling no more. Yeah, I stepped away for a minute from rooting for people like this. So
yeah, man. I didn't have much, you know.
Now you was trying to find a bus to catch, like you said.
Yeah. But you know, and I mean, I just like you say, the Ravens are one of the franchises I like.
I watched them from afar, and I always rooted for them because they didn't play the Falcons that much when I was a Falcon fan. So I'm like, oh, they're a good defensive team. Man. I like Ray Lewis. I like Ed Reed. Hey, I'm with it, man. Yeah. So
I mean, but Josh Allen, he did outlast Lamar. Lamar started out shaky, and it cost
him. Too many mistakes.
And this seems to be
a recurring
story,
unfortunately,
for the Jackson brothers.
Yeah,
Like the mistakes cost them, and they couldn't overcome them. And you know, when you playing, the Bills been there before. Josh Allen been there before, and this is he's said that hell no, we're not friends. Like I want to beat him, but
makes sense. After the game, right away they came up to each other and talked. But I mean, I get.
Yeah, but you got to get focused, and
it's like the interceptions is bad. Like you forcing the ball on that play. The fumble, I think even with Andrews with his fumble. They're trying to do too much. Sometimes you can try to play outside of yourself. Like, okay, it's a big moment. I got to make something happen. Like Lamar, just get sacked, man. You sacked. They got you. I get you trying to get away. Just go now. You fumble the ball.
In the conditions.
Yeah, and the snow, too.
Yeah,
and that's what you say. I'm trying to hold the ball too tough, and I squeezed it, and it popped out my hand. And Von Miller picks it up, runs it back. They get a touchdown on that drive. Yeah. Now 14-7 now.
I mean, you want to play loose. Yeah. You do want to play loose. But you also,
I think they are too amped up.
Yeah, you want to, make calculated decisions about what you're doing, and you want to play. Sometimes you have to maybe lean on your God-given abilities.
Yeah, I think so.
and and sometimes you can't do what you hear other people saying you need to be doing.
And
sometimes
Todd Monken, we talked about this earlier. Y'all, this is exactly why you went and got Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry early on in the game wasn't getting the ball that much, man.
No.
They had Justice Hill out there a lot. Even at the end of the game, after the third quarter, he had running the ball down the folks' throat, got him back in the game, got a touchdown,
he was running the ball down.
He didn't play in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They put Justice Hill in. And I get you trying to throw the ball on that last drive, but the 2-point conversion, the first 2-point conversion, he just pounded the ball down their throat the whole time.
Man, when you got a guy like Derrick Henry, you got to get creative and make it work, because that's why you brought him in.
That's why you're here. Just like you had the best rushing attack in the league, even better than the Eagles, who got Saquon Barkley. You got Lamar and him. RPO all day. They can't stop it. We don't know who to go after. Yeah. You just did this against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Lamar fake like he had the ball off and fake like he going. All the linebackers go with him. Henry's off to the races. Like, I get it's a different defense, but come on, man. That's like, I think they was just trying to do too much, maybe outsmart themselves. We're gonna come out and throw the ball. And they came out, scored a touchdown, throwing the ball early on, but you gotta dance with the girl you brought to the dance, man. Like sometimes you can outsmart yourself and try to prove a point and just don't make sense. And even with all that said, last drive of the game, I will give Lamar credit, man. Lamar, I think he went 6 or 7 on that last drive, 80 yards, threw a touchdown to Likely, Isaiah Likely. And man, my guy Andrews, man. Coming off the fumble.
I think that was a bad play call. I'm sticking with that.
But I understand what y'all saying because I heard y'all saying that and saying, oh, they should have ran the ball to get to Henry, but
RPO.
I agree. I mean, I'm with that. But
I mean, when
you are in the end zone with the ball in your hands, though, man. Like, I get the conditions, you slipping and falling and all that, but man, yeah.
I mean, everybody,
Tough. That's a tough
everybody, you roll out, everybody's going the same way.
Yeah.
You're going the same way to
running out of room. Yeah.
Running out of room. Yeah. And, you kind of like, even though it was right there, but you're running out of room, the ball probably it's like a piece of ice.
Yeah, I'm sure that ball was hard as a brick.
And it's a lot of things. I just don't agree with the play call, man. I think that's and I get it. Maybe they was trying to let Andrews redeem himself.
He probably,
sometimes
probably wishing they didn't do that now. Man.
Sometimes again, you gotta be like, hey, man.
Yeah, I mean,
we want to win.
He's a great Raven, actually, man. He's been great. He had a great season this year. He's one of Lamar's favorite targets. Lamar actually, and I'm gonna play this video, man. Lamar actually beating him up, man, and said, hey, which I like this about Lamar, man. He took accountability for it and said, hey, I messed up a lot.
First half, I had 2 costly turnovers. Me not holding the safety, me just knowing the coverage, me knowing it was man, threw a BS interception. It was 7-7 at the time. I believe they scored after that. Battle back, fumble, snap, trying to make something happen. Couldn't throw. It was like a RPO play, so I couldn't really throw the ball to Likely. The offensive line was down the field, so I was trying to make something happen. Tried to squeeze the ball, it slipped out my hand. Von Miller picked it up, got some yards. I think that led to points for them. So it's a team effort out there. He been busting his behind, he making plays happen out there on that field for us. Came up short. And like I've been saying all season, every time we in situations like this, turnovers play a factor. Penalties play a factor. Tonight, the turnovers, you can't have that shit, And that's why we lost the game, because as you can see, we're moving the ball wonderfully. It's hold on to the fucking ball. I'm sorry for my language. It's annoying. I'm tired of this shit.
I mean, that's the season in a nutshell right there. Yeah. Can't turn the ball over. Can't make no mistakes. And like I said, shout out to Lamar for, being a leader. Saying, hey, I turned the ball over. I can't do that. Andrews made plays for us the whole season. So he's falling on the sword, kind of, making sure people don't blame Andrews. But it's enough to go around for everybody, man.
Enough to go around.
Can't beat yourself. We just talked about that with Houston against Kansas City. Like, you make no mistakes in the playoffs, man. It's amplified. So, man, what are my Ravens gonna do, man? Seems like we have this conversation about them the last couple of years, every year too, like coming up short.
It's gonna either make you hungrier, or it's gonna make you not wanna.
We're gonna fold up shop and leave.
You're gonna fold up
do
shop.
something else.
I mean, and you see that with a lot of teams. Some teams come back and keep coming, or then you got other teams. They're gonna blow it up.
I'll say this, man. I think, and not to compare it because these guys' games is way different. At one point, through 7 seasons in his NFL career, he was 3-5, just like Lamar is. One Mr. Peyton Manning, and people felt like he couldn't win the big game. Now, eventually he got over the hump, finally beat New England, won the Super Bowl with Denver later on too. I think when you got a quarterback like Lamar, this is probably his best season ever. So, ran for 900 yards, threw for 4,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions the whole year. You got the quarterback. I think you got a good coach in Harbaugh, even though people saying
it's very frustrating.
They want to run him out of town, I guess, because he's been there so long.
When you ask what's next for the Ravens, I mean, they got everything.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
what do you do?
What do you do? What's next?
I think they do need a receiver though still.
what's next?
Zay Flowers got hurt, so he wasn't in this game. And then Bateman got hurt on the last drive, or the drive before the last drive, so he wasn't out there. So you were playing with Andrews and Lott. Like, you got two good tight ends. You probably need another receiver. I don't know what their cap situation look like, but I mean, I heard this guy in Miami trying to get out of Miami, Tyreek Hill. I would love to see that kind of weapon for Lamar. At that point, there ain't no excuses no more. Then they get a guy like that.
You know, you kind of running out of time. You know, I mean, with what's going on, and you know, I mean, Lamar is a young guy.
Yeah, only
still,
28.
You know, 28 years old, young guy. But when you talk about, hey man, we need this, we need that, they got it.
The thing that made me nervous, like, you had a great Derrick Henry year. Running backs, man, it can go quick. So who's to say that? We seen the Falcons try to bring Steven Jackson in, or they had, you know, guys that you bring in. Sometimes he done took a beating for all the years, man, running people over and all that. So
yeah, so
I don't know that he gonna be the guy he was last year. I mean, this year, next year.
So, you might forget how to play running back.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Miles add up, man.
So, but I mean, you know, it's a mind scratching situation. Head scratching situation,
and it's not gonna get no easy.
And it's
Mahomes not going nowhere. They may, in fact, add guys to their team. Yeah. Buffalo is a team you got to deal with every year. I know at one point
Tyreek might wind back.
You never know. Yeah, I mean, we was talking about. We said Buffalo is their window closing. They got rid of Stephon Diggs, and they in the AFC Championship now. So, and they got some young guys on their team. Young James Cook. They got a lot of young guys, young receivers. It's not going. You still got to deal with Joe Burrow, and if they can get their stuff together, they're a team to worry about. So it's not going to be an easy road for them. Like, you're gonna have to go win it if you're gonna win it in the AFC.
Most definitely.
It's a little easier in the AFC. NFC, even though it's getting tough over there with some of the young guys that's coming along. But it's you got to earn it.
You got to earn it. You got to go earn it.
Yeah,
you got to go earn it.
So I'm still with the flock though, man. You know, I'm riding with them. I got a lot of texts this morning saying, "What team you gonna root for now, man?" Root for the Eagles because they're still in it. But I'm still with the Ravens, man. I think I'm gonna plant my flag with them, man, and say, you know what, man, I want to see Lamar win. I'm a fan of Lamar Jackson, man. I want to see him get one.
I mean, I would have loved to see the Ravens and the Eagles in the Super Bowl. I think that would have been great.
Yeah. Or even a DMV Super Bowl, man. Jaden Daniels running and throwing. That would have been super exciting to see Jaden Daniels against Lamar. Yeah. That would have been a fun one. So I mean, you know, like,
and Jaden Daniels might get there.
He might just get there.
He might get there.
Yeah, man. Speaking of predictions, man, you know, we got to do a show giving our predictions, but right now, how are you feeling as we know these games, matchups a couple hours, or like I said, 18 hours at the game, some of them 24 hours. What are you leaning towards? I know you said Jaden Daniels, you know, he has what it takes. He ain't scared of the prime time, so I don't know what the weather's gonna be like. I ain't looked at that yet, but DC, I mean, they ain't that far from Philly. It's cold in DC too. It's cold today there, so we'll see what happens with that, man. And
man, the AFC NFC games, you know, this reminds me back when we used to do AFC NFC parties.
Yeah.
This is a great lineup.
It might be the best Sunday of the year, man.
Yeah, this is a great lineup to throw an AFC NFC party because, man, it's gonna be a doozy.
It is.
It's what them old folks say. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one, and it definitely is gonna be some good football play, man. I mean, I just can't wait. To check out and see what happens. You know, I would like to see the Bills get over the hump.
Yeah,
but I like Pat Mahomes though. True. So I really, I like Pat Mahomes more so than I like Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So I'm probably
rooting against the Bills.
I'm probably gonna have a root interest for the Chiefs, even though I see how they playing with these Chiefs, man. And I'm a man of justice, and I don't like I don't like injustices. Yeah. So I feel that I could change. I could I could change because I don't like how they playing with with the Chiefs. Now I know you like the Eagles.
Yeah.
I know you like the Eagles, man. I know you like the Eagles. But I like Dan Quinn. I think he was ran out of town prematurely. I've always liked Dan Quinn.
Prematurely, he
stayed. Look
4 years too
look
long.
What he did. Look what he did in Dallas. Look what he doing in Washington. Like sometimes it's not about him.
Look what he did in Atlanta.
Look who his quarterback was in Atlanta.
Yeah, whatever, man.
So I mean, now he has. Hey, this is the Keep It Real show.
He was good enough to get him to a 28-3 lead. That his defense blew. He supposed to be a defensive-minded guy.
Sometimes. Now, when you look at it like that, sometimes
Keep It Real show.
He got a young quarterback now that, hey, that is Dan Quinn's football team.
Yeah.
When Dan Quinn was here in Atlanta, that was Matt Ryan's football team.
Oh my God.
So even though he was the head coach, it goes back to sometime, man.
I thought it was the brotherhood.
You're trying to dress these guys up, man. And now I think Dan Quinn got free tutelage of Jaden Daniels.
Falcons fans, y'all hear this revisionist history? This man,
he has.
Now Dan Quinn hands was tied. He had no power. It was Matt Ryan.
There it is.
I'm sure Falcons fans would disagree with that. No. But yeah, hey,
it's a lot of politicking, man.
I wouldn't be mad. I like Jaden Daniels. The more I watch him, I like him. I ain't never had no problem with Dan Quinn. I think he should have been fired.
Good coach, man.
Immediately, right after the Super Bowl, everybody should have been fired and let go. But
he's a good coach, man. He did it.
I wouldn't be mad if they won that game, man. But I'm riding with the Eagles, though, man. Eagles fly.
I like the It's gonna be some good. It's gonna be some good football to watch right there. Especially on the NFC side.
Yeah,
that is gonna be a good football game to watch, and it's very winnable for the Commanders.
They just beat them. They beat
the
Eagles.
Very winnable.
It can be done. It can be done, man. And I think in the AFC, man, as much as I've been the guy being an apologist for the Bills, but that's how I know I'm really Ravens fans. I say the hell with the Bills, man. I hope Kansas City beat them by 100 points, man. I don't care. I'm mad still, man. Josh Allen, I like you, but not right now, though, man. I'm going with Kansas City, man.
You said it quite a bit and very angry. I felt the heat coming off those texts. I felt how you was feeling.
You would have heard me. See, this is why I don't root for teams, because I almost threw some stuff around in the house when that man dropped that ball, man. Yeah. It was I had let out some loud expletives.
Yeah.
But hey, that's part of being a fan, though, man. It is what it is, man. But like you said, we got a great lineup. It's gonna be a great Sunday, man, of football. And the sad thing is we're getting closer and closer to the end of the season.
Closer and closer to the end of the season.
But hey, never fret though, man. We got a show that's gonna be coming for y'all, man. Our preview other championship games. We're going to give you our predictions, our full predictions, talk a little bit more about the games, what we think each team needs to do to win. You can catch that on Friday here on our show, man. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I don't know what you're doing.
What you waiting for?
We got a lot of subscribers. I don't know
what you're waiting for.
Listen, if you just would have watched them previews and said, man, we put a few dollars down on these games, would have won a lot of money this week, man. I bet with my heart with the Ravens, so maybe not on that one, but we got 3 other winners for you. So, hey, man, we doing nice things over here.
Hey, man! If, like you said, if you ain't subscribed, what you
doing? Matter of fact, click the button right now.
Click the button right now. Get in the comments. We conversing, man. We should get in the comments.
I appreciate a lot of Lions fans. Now they're not gonna be there now. I understood because I was hurt yesterday too, so I didn't go back and say, "Hey, what would you say, Lion fan?" But a lot of them was coming in before saying, "Hey, you're crazy. It's no way they're gonna lose." I was with
y'all, man.
He was in the comments too, saying Detroit, nothing to see here.
Yeah, I was with y'all.
Yeah, so hey, like I said, man, if you love the NFL, we got great coverage of it for you here, man. And tell a friend, man. And what we tell them, BeeWoo?
Tell a hater.
Yes, sir, man.
Tell them.
Make sure you watch this show on Friday. Click that like button, man. Like, subscribe. We'll see you guys on Friday with our breakdown. Get out of here.
Peace.